I will be talking about dissociative identity disorder. I am going to talk about my first main point, which are the signs and symptoms about the disease. And then I'm going to move into my second main point, which would be the causes of this. And the third main point, which is the treatment. So, dissociative identity disorder, what is it? A condition in which a person displays multiple distinct identities or personalities, also known as alter egos, each with his own pattern of perceiving and interacting with the environment. What does that mean? In other words, let's say I'm Jessica, right? So a person could actually develop, for example, two alter egos. I could have me, Jessica, which I am the person, develop my other alter ego, Veronica, or Maritza, each with different personalities. I'm a calm person, Veronica could be a murder person, or Maritza could be a shy person. Those are alter egos in a person. And it's not just those, angry, sad. A person could develop up to 20, 30 alter egos, so imagine how difficult that could be. My signs and symptoms, that's my first main point. Depression. Depression actually starts at early childhood. Many people think that depression doesn't really affect a lot of people, but actually 90% of statistics show that early childhood develop because of depression. A child who's depressed or has been in an abusive family or anything, they will escape that environment by pretending they're somewhere else, by giving themselves a different name, a different last name, and that's how it develops. Unexplainable headaches. How does that happen? Well, if you think about it, when one of your alter egos is mad, sad, and then you shift to happy, it's like you're gonna get a hectic out of it. I don't know how many of you have actually gone to a point that you've cried so badly, because I know there's one time that I would cry, and then when you're happy, it's like, wow, that headache. And when you shift, like let's say if I'm Jessica, I shift to Veronica, shift back to Jessica, that's how your headache starts. Attitudes that aren't the same. And I have this beautiful woman right here who's serious. And then later on she's sad. And this little picture actually confuses people. People really think that dissociative identity disorder is confused with bipolar. Bipolar and dissociative identity disorder are two different things. Bipolar is more moods. Dissociative identity disorder is more people. Like you develop your own people and you think these people are real. And that's when these people come, they step out. And then depersonalization. I thought this was the greatest picture I could find because here's a person and that could be Veronica in there. I don't know if I make myself more clear, but that's how she's trapped in there, and then that could either be Jessica or Veronica on the outside, and then they switch. And then I'm going to move into now the main point, which are the causes. And I actually found statistics also that about 72% statistics say that the primary cause of DID appears to be severe and prolonged trauma experienced during the childhood. Here I have this disturbing picture of a man or father and uncle about to be thinking was a little girl. This picture also shows how many children, the way I said earlier, that when they try to escape the environment they are right now, they hide or they believe that there's somebody else. Also solitary, when a child's by themselves, and I've actually gone onto YouTube and I've seen how there's children, they explain that when they're alone, when they have nobody there, when they don't have anybody to talk to, they actually start imagining their friends. Little kids, we all know, little children, eventually they make up a friend. Oh, my friend Casper, my friend Wendy. And then that's how when they do that, or when they even play with dolls. When they play with dolls, they'll give you the dolls' names. If the dolls are the only thing that they know throughout their whole childhood, that's how the depersonalization starts. My third main point is treatment. How can it be curable? Well, it's not like the flu that one day will be here, the next day is gone. It's not. The treatment takes several, it could even months, weeks, years, it could take a long time to cure this. Some people don't even get cured. One treatment is psychotherapy. you could be the most, I would say, about a year that you should be going psychotherapy. The therapist will try to convince you that, or try to like tell you, try to find out who the real person is, and let you know that, let's say for me, Veronica, Maritza, they're both me. They're the same person. That's what they try to tell them. And then the therapist tries to mostly talk about what happened in your childhood, what happened, or not, let you know that you were a victim, to how overcoming that victim. And then we have hypnosis. Sometimes the psychotherapy doesn't work. We have hypnosis. It brings it all together. Just then letting you know who you are and these all your alter egos. And most of all, the most treatment you get is self-help. Everybody knows here that nobody is going to help you out more than yourself. If you fall, who's going to pick you up? Maybe you might have that good friend there, but you can only pick yourself up when you're down. My additional information, I put a person with VAD may and can be harmful. I didn't write this to be alerted about other people or I'm just cautious, because if you have your nice person and they might shift to another person, and you never know what their alter ego is. Or I could come up to Missy like, oh hi, how are you? And then out of nowhere, I might want to be pulling out her hair out because my alter ego wants to do that. It's different things. Not to be scared, but just understand that they're suffering through something. My other one is a person who develops up to 17 or 20 alter egos. When a person develops up to this much egos and they don't get the proper treatment, this is when suicidal thoughts come to mind. They want to skip the world they're in. They don't know what to do. They're confused. They don't know what's happening to them. And suicidal is the only way out. And then DMDI cannot be diagnosed by taking a blood test. It's something confusing. Many people don't know what it is, and the only way you could diagnose this is by going to a therapist. The therapist will later ask you questions. Most likely, if you have a hard past, if you've been abused as a child, if you have suicidal thoughts, or you are always angry, or the most common, a loss of time, a loss of a long period of time, then you're diagnosed with DID. What I mean loss of time is, like, I could be right now, let's say I go to Veronica, and then I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? Like, that loss of time, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you're at, because the other person was in charge. And that's about it. The end. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, DID is another way of saying dissociative identity disorder, which at the same time it means multiple dissociative identity disorder.
When you go through treatment, do you decide which person you want to be, which alter ego, or does your therapist say you're going to be Veronica, or you're going to... No, how does that work?
That's what I was confused too. I don't know what they meant. But through therapy, when they talk to you, and they see, so that's why they say it's a long treatment, because when you're in the therapy room, that's when your alter ego, 1 week they'll appear, and the therapist will notice, oh, so this is Veronica, this is Maritza, and then they try to put all of those together. I don't know if I'm making myself clear.
Yeah. Okay, so a person with basically multiple personality disorder, are they aware of the different personalities? Or, because you had the person trapped behind the eye, and I was thinking, well, in that picture it's kind of misleading, like they see what's going on but they're unable to do anything, or are they totally unaware of the other personality that has taken over?
In some cases, a person does realize when their alter ego is taking over, but most likely, lots of people that suffer from this, they don't know about it. As like example, like I saw on YouTube a person that had dissociative identity disorder. She was looking in the 2 mirrors. In one mirror, she saw one, and then in the other mirror, she saw another person, and she was interacting with them. And that's how they're confused, because you kind of sometimes see it, but there's times you don't realize that.